Good morning, Georgia. A person asked me a very interesting question the other day. Does the word behaviorist still have any meaning? If you see somebody post on Facebook or advertise as a behaviorist, does it have any value? I mean, on my site, I advertise as a behaviorist, but does it still have meaning? After our chat, I had a thought. How would life be if nothing was regulated? How would life be if our medical profession was not really regulated? And that made me think about something. So I am going to demonstrate. So while I was working the other day, I'm the guy actually fixing train wheels when they're flat. I inflate them. So while I was working, I heard a lady moaning about her son. Apparently he's very naughty and he never listens to them. So I thought I can do something about that. I'm going to try and help people from now on. So I looked on the internet and I found 2 places where you can study psychology. The one place offered a 3-day course, very cheap, and the other place offered a 2-day course, also very cheap. So I enrolled for these courses. I finished my 3-day course in 2 days because I'm very clever, and I finished my other course in 1 day. And after that, I received my certificate. There we are. In this course, we also had to do practical work, so to gain experience. So I did that as well. So one of the practical things I did, I talked to a kid. I didn't really like it, but I did it anyway. And I talked to a parent. Didn't like her either, but it was part of the course. I also met up with a psychologist in the bar. Now this guy, he studied for 6 years apparently. I have no reason why. He must be really stupid or something. He studied for 6 years and I did it in 3 days. That doesn't make any sense, but whatever. So afterwards, I received my certificate. So you can see my name, I'm here. I'm a psychologist, species human. So I'm a qualified human psychologist. And I can now consult or do consultations. So I found this lady who complained about her son. So I'm going to see her later after she agreed to a consultation. I only asked her 3,000 Rand because I think that's very fair. I can fix the son in 1 day, guaranteed. My course said anything can be fixed in a day. So I'm going to fix this lady's son in 1 day. So I think 3,000 Rand is not too much to ask. I forgot to mention, before I came, after the appointment was made with the lady, I did some online research. So I visited a few sites and I came across an article written by a professor. He's at the University of Canterbury. And according to the paper, he studied for 12 years. Now this guy is really something else. He's talking about emotional stage, depression, anxiety, fears, phobias, and all sorts of other things. And I think he's sucking the stuff out of his thumb. I really do. None of this was mentioned in my 3-day course. So this guy is talking rubbish, absolutely. He wasted his 12 years, he must ask for his money back. I also visited another site and I found an article written by a doctor. He's at the University of Chocolate Log and he's going on about nutrition. How nutrition can influence behavior and it can cause this and that. I don't know what to say about that. That was not included in my course, so this guy's really talking rubbish. I also went to another site. It's also another university of the Alps. And this professor, he also mentioned feelings and fears and phobias and something about a fear system and a care system and all sorts of systems from a book written by Chuck Panksepp. He's supposed to be a neuropsychologist, I guess, neurophysicist, I don't know. What a load of rubbish. How can this child is naughty? How can he be depressed? How can he be fearful? How can he be scared? How can he be anything? This guy's absolutely talking rubbish. None of this was included in my 3-day course. So really, these universities must get a life. These people are sucking things out of their thumbs. They're just people writing books to sell. They want to make money, I'm sure of it. So I'm going to help this lady in another way. So I phoned my friend or colleague. This colleague, he did the same course as me. He finished his 3-day course in 7 days. But he's really, really clever. And he came up with other ideas. For these ideas, I had to order some sophisticated equipment, but it's guaranteed to work. This colleague says this will sort out this naughty child in 1 day. And this lady is going to thank me for this. I'm going to make such a good name. I'm going to post this all over social media, how great I am. So later today, I'm going to meet this lady. I'll see you later. Cool, so I want to introduce Joni and her son Jan. Now, I showed Joni my new certificate. As you can see, I'm a qualified psychologist, species human, from the Cadbury's Academy, and I got the Hot Chocolate Award. So I'm very well known and highly qualified. Now, Joni's got a problem. When they do shopping, her son normally wanders off and they can't find him in the shop. And they normally find him after an hour or so in the toy section where he's busy breaking the shop toys. They live on a farm, a very nice farm, and often he wanders around the farm and he refuses to come when they call him. He's absolutely a naughty boy. So I'm here to fix all her problems. Joni, last night we did some research. I spoke to a colleague who did the same course as me, and we came up with a solution. I ordered something today that's going to help him. Now, this device is very sophisticated. It's called a correctional collar for boys. You get another pink one for girls, apparently. This one is black. So all we need to do, we put this around Jan's neck, like that, nice and tightly, so these little electrodes can touch his neck. So it must be really tight. And then I give you this. This is a remote. So whenever he wanders off, you press this button and he will get a shock. Can we try this?
I don't think so.
But it's safe. The man on Google said it saves lives. Why not?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so? Well, it starts to look like she's a bad parent. She don't want to help her son. This thing can save his life and she's refusing it. Oh well. Okay, I've got the plan B. Let's look at the plan B. This is not that sophisticated, but it also saves lives, or so the people say on TV. Now all we need to do is put this on around his neck. Now this is like a little necklace. It's nice and shiny. It's got these little protrusions, if you can call it that. Now we fit it nice and tightly around his neck, and we attach a piece of rope or a leash to him. And each time he wanders off, these little things will dig into his trachea, and he will stop misbehaving. He will feel nothing. The pamphlet says it's very safe. It will cause no pain or discomfort. But apparently it's a magic tool, so he will stop misbehaving. Shall we give it a try?
No. We can't do that, no.
No. It's no pleasing you. Okay, I've got a third option. Oh, this is really a simple solution. I have no idea what it's called, but it's a little chain. So all you do, put it around his neck, and when he starts to wander off, you give him a nice jerk. This thing will go tight and will choke him, but as soon as he stops misbehaving, this thing will release and he will not choke anymore, and he will stop misbehaving after one day. Shall we give it a try?
No. We can't do that.
Why not? It will save his life.
No.
So you don't want to electrocute your son to save him. You don't want him to wear that other thing. And you don't want him to choke.
Yes, that's about right. None of those.
So what do you want from me?
Maybe I'll just take my son then.
Okay, so I did this for the sake of explaining how misleading fake or incorrect qualifications can be. Me or Joni not wanting to electrocute his son, that's good parenting. Her not wanting me to use this torture device on her son is good parenting. But for some reason we allow people to use it on their dogs. Now I was always under the impression dogs should be part of the family like Joni's kids. So Joni will never ever allow me to put that or those devices on either kids or dogs. Joni's one son was a star student in the puppy class. So why should we use the stuff on your dogs? It makes you think, doesn't it? Now, as I mentioned before, this video is not about discrediting anybody. It's just to make people think. In the video, I was actually mocking everything. I was demonstrating if the medical profession should be unregulated, then anybody can call him a doctor. Anybody can call him a mechanic. Anybody can call him anything. And can advertise as such, and can take money from people for his or her service. But the problem is, what will happen if you go to a doctor with a headache and he prescribes 2 Panados? It will help. It will help in 2 or 3 hours. If you go to a doctor and you have appendicitis and he thinks it's a stomach bug and he gives you a laxative, will that help you in half an hour? You might be dead the next morning. And that's the problem. If you don't study all these different things, aspects, if you become an animal behaviorist, you learn where dogs come from, you learn about emotional states, you learn what's happens in his brain, you learn about nutritional value of food, you learn about the different drugs available. it's a hell of a lot of work, and you need that knowledge to figure out what's going on with the dog. Because, like with Joni's kid, you can ask Joni's kid, listen, what's bothering you, and he can give you feedback. No, the garden guy working the garden, he's hitting me when I'm near your house, and I prefer to stay away. So you know what's going on. With a dog, it's different. You don't know what's going on. You need to rely on certain things. You need to observe the dog. You need to figure out, is he scared? Is he fearful? Is he depressed? And yes, dogs can actually get depressed. So the only way to figure this out is if you know what to look for. And you know the signs, you know the body language, you know everything that you can to help the animal. And you can't not study and do that. It doesn't make sense. And that's the scary thing. Now, having said that, there are brilliant people out there who receive no formal education, but their knowledge is from reputable sources. They go onto not Google and search for whatever. They go into places like Google Scholar, and they find reputable sources. They find documents written by highly experienced, highly qualified people, and to educate themselves. Now that's great. That's absolutely fantastic. But you also get the individuals who think they know everything, and because they think they know everything, they don't know that there's a lot more to learn, and that is a sad story. And that's can be damaging. That can be so damaging, because think about it. If Joni's kid was depressed, and now you punish him for that, what would happen in the end? What would the fallout be? If Joni's kid was feeling scared because somebody at home is hurting him, so he preferred to stay away, and now I punish him, what would the fallout be? If Joni's kid were actually sick, but he was scared to tell his mom, and now he gets punished for it, what would the fallout be? So it's a lot more involved than just giving advice. You need to figure things out. You have to know these things to help the animals. And what's happening in the industry is people with very little knowledge, they tend to think they know a lot because they don't know there's a lot more to learn, if that makes sense. And then they're not prepared to learn anymore because they think they know it all. So the dog world or the dog industry is totally unregulated, as we all know. So should everybody be calling themselves behaviorists? So I can go to a guy walking down the street with a dog, and I can ask him, how long have you owned a dog? Can your dog sit and lie down? Yes, sir. Okay, you're now a behaviorist. He can advertise as such, and he can take people's money. And that's that's actually sad. It's actually a matter of ethics and morals as well. I'm not going to advertise myself as a car mechanic. I own a car. I've worked on car engines as a young man. I know what the basics is of a car. I can overhaul an engine. I have done it. I've overhauled car engines when I was young. It's a matter of stripping the engine, taking the pistons out, having the head redone, putting everything back together, and there you go. But I'm not a qualified mechanic, although I can sort of help myself. But if you give me something like I must do measurements of a bore, or suggest oversized bearings or whatever, I will have no clue what to do. I'm honest. And that's what these mechanics learn, and that's what that's the knowledge I don't have. So I can't call myself a mechanic. It'll be unethical, it'll be immoral, and it will be stupid, because I will mess up everybody's cars. I will fix 1 or 2 or 3 cars. Yes, I can do that. I can do a oil change. But I don't know enough to call myself a qualified mechanic. And that's a problem. But anyway, this video, I'm going to mention it again. I'm going to offend somebody somewhere, I know. But that was not the intention of this video. The intention of this video is just to let people know you can't trust everybody. There are great people out there. There are trustworthy people out there. And then there are chances out there. And it's up to you to ask questions. Ask them about the experience. Ask them about the education. Ask them proof of stuff, just to make sure you don't get scammed. Because that is happening, and is happening all over the world, unfortunately. So, the word behaviorist, does it have value? I honestly don't know. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching this. Bye for now.